Hey guys, so today I'm going to be installing the Haloview BT7 backup camera on our Grand Design Solitude. They were nice enough to send us this to T&E it. We don't get any kickbacks from this. They sent it to us for free so we would test it, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to show you the install, and then we're going to get some footage of how it works while we're traveling and backing up and that kind of stuff. So let's open this up and see what's inside. Alright, so here's what's inside. We've got our camera. We got different mounting options for the panel that goes inside the truck. Get your gasket, another type of mount, antenna. These are the two different plug-in options for your camera. We're going to be going with this because we're already pre-wired with our Solitude, and it already has the adapter to plug this in. Otherwise we would just be hooking up these, but again, we're already wired for it, so we're going to be using that. The antennas, you get all your mounting hardware, your different plug-in options for this to go into your truck, whether you're pre-wired for it or if you're just going to be plugging it in, which we'll probably be using this and just plugging it into the lighter. And that's what we got for now. You got the manuals. This is a very simple install. It's going to only take minutes. All right, so one thing you're going to want to do before you do the install is pair them. And that's pretty simple. Just take your plug-in for the truck, plug that in, they give you this pairing cable. Plug that in to the one that's plugged into the truck, and then you take one of these two, plug one into your monitor and the other one into the camera. So I got one plugged into my camera right here, and I got one plugged into the monitor. Now it looks like it's already paired. There we go. Look at that. Hey. So it looks like it already came paired, but if you're not paired, it doesn't pop up like that. The instructions are right here in your little manual. On page 20 of your manual, it goes through how you can pair it if it's not paired, which it's already paired, obviously. So we're good to go with the install. All right, guys. Sorry for the noise in the background. That's our generator. We're off grid right now, so we are powered by a generator only. Nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to talk a little bit louder. Hopefully you can hear me well. But as you can see, we came pre-wired for a Furrion camera system. So all I got to do is take this off. I've already removed two of the screws, loosen these up just to make this go a little bit quicker. This pops right off. And this is the casing for the Furrion. Got this gasket here, and this is what we're going to plug into. Instead of wiring it to the inside, this is already wired, so all we got to do is plug this right in here, plug this into the camera, and we're good to go. Just have to remove it from this gasket. I don't want to destroy this gasket, because if I don't like this camera system and I want to go and get a Furrion camera system, I don't want to ruin my gasket here, so that just pops right out. Alright, then we just need to get this through the gasket, make sure these screw holes line up, which they do. We're just going to push this through our gasket. That goes through pretty easy. The screw holes all line up. So then this plugs into this. It's got a little locking mechanism in there, so locks in place, plugs into there, and all that excess wiring can just fit right in the back of the camera here. Definitely don't want to go too tight on these, especially from the start. Get all four in. And then I'll kind of tighten them each down little by little. Kind of get the gasket down in there. Obviously you want it nice and secure. Just don't want to strip it out of there. That's tight enough for me. Then you have two antenna options. This is an extension antenna which you would plug in here and then just stick to the top of your roof. I don't know how well this would hold. It is 3M, so it'll probably hold fine, but I don't think I'm going to need it, or at least I'm not going to use it until I think I need it. I'm going to use one of these other antennas. It just screws into the side here, and you just turn it up. Now if this doesn't work, then I'll just go ahead and install this on the roof and run the antenna. Might put it over here where it's more in line with the front, but we'll see how this works and go from there. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to run a bead of silicone caulk around the top, and then maybe even over top of these screws and in these screw holes, just so we don't get any type of water inside the fiberglass there. So, but that's it. That was easy. Now we're going to go mount the one inside the truck and see how they work. All right, so when it comes to mounting the monitor, you got two different options. Basically, you can go with this bracket here. It's got the 3M tape on the bottom, which just mount to your dash anywhere you really want to put it. I went with the brackets because you can mount it to your window. That's what I'm doing anyway. It doesn't really stick to this too much. It's just two little pieces of 3M foam right here, which should hold this pretty securely to the window. It doesn't work on the dash. Not even sure if this would work on the dash, and I don't really want this big of a piece of 3M on my dash, because if I ever got to get it off, it could be really hard. And they didn't want to put it on the window. That's a lot on the window too, but hopefully this works. If not, we'll go to the other one. All right, so there it is mounted. Again, this is just one option. This is what I decided to do just because I wanted to minimize the amount of 3M tape I was going to put on the dash or the window, depending on if I'm going to keep this unit or not. We haven't tried it out yet, so we don't know if we're gonna like it. So that's why I went with this way. There's two antennas that stick out here, and we're gonna have to play with the signal once we get the camera back there to make sure everything is still working good. That's what we're gonna go with for now. So the next thing is just to actually try it out. And tomorrow we're gonna be heading out on a little trip, so we're gonna see how it works. All right, so we are on our way to Baxter State Park. This is our first time testing out the Haloview backup camera. Now, initially when we started off, it wasn't connected. I couldn't figure out why. I thought maybe I needed to add the better antenna to the top. So we pulled into the first rest stop, and I should have done all this before we left. Yeah. But I thought it might have just, you know, not been picking up a signal because I was getting the no signal screen. Obviously now it's working. Turns out it was because I had my lights, look right here, my lights on auto, which is how I've always done them. So then I guess during the day the running lights don't turn on, and it's powered by your running light. I was doing my light checks and I had my hazard lights and had my lights turned on to full. I plugged that back in and it was working. I was like, oh wait a minute. So then I just tried messing with the lights, and sure enough, when I put the lights on auto and the lights cut off because it's daytime, so does the camera system. So something you need to know is that you have to have your running lights on in order for the system to be powered. So everything's working right now. I'm gonna go out back and wave at the camera, and Lenny's going to hold it up to there so you can see me. Now wave!
And there he is. It's working. Yay!
Good?
Yep.
All right. All right, so we're about to back into our property, which is it's kind of a tight background thing, but I'm gonna see if I can rig the camera up here so you can see what's going on with the backup camera.
Alright, so there it was in action. Worked out pretty well for backing into our property here. I think it kept me from smacking one of my big boulders, so that was good. All in all, I think it's pretty cool. When we first took it out, I think I had it too low. You can adjust it. You can adjust the angle or the pitch to where it's up, you know, higher or lower. And I think it had it too low. For when I was backing into that first spot, I had a little trouble, but it was also because there was no markers. It was just a grass spot, so it was really hard to tell where I was going. But especially with the camera pointing straight down, great for if, you know, running into things, but hard for using it to help me back into where I was supposed to go. So when we left there, I actually adjusted it and turned it up so I could see further behind me, which was also good for when you're driving. You can see what's behind you. I didn't keep it on all the time because it's a big screen and it can be a little distracting at some point. Plus there's audio, which the audio is kind of going off the whole time you have it on, which is, I'm sure there's a way to adjust the audio. I hadn't figured that out yet or looked into it before I started driving, so I was just cutting it on and off. Something I'm not too fond of is how big the screen is and how much it takes up your window. It's just one of those takeaways. You got to deal with it on your windshield while you're driving, but you don't have to. If you don't care about what's behind you when you're just driving, you can just unmount it and set it down, you know, inside your center console. It's manageable. But all in all, I think it's a great product. It worked great. As you saw, it was easy to install. Just remember the key thing, you gotta make sure you have your running lights on or your lights on, or it's not gonna work. So we're gonna add a link in the description so you can purchase this product. We don't get any kickbacks from it. They just sent it to us for free so we could try it out. It's the Haloview camera, really good product. We are definitely gonna utilize it from here on out. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you took something away from it. And thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell so you can get notifications, and we'll see you next week.